crazy.
No,
That's a wizard. This motherfucker's like a paladin or as another sorcerer.
Nah, warrior.
Like that.
Yeah.
A necromancer. I'm just flashing shit.
Wait, what did he just say?
Negromancer?
Necromancer. Hey, what up, my dead people? What's up? Rise up! New York, LA, Philly, Chicago. Everybody rise! That's necromancer.
Am I allowed to laugh at that? Am I? So guys, you guys remember I did a react to Abin Preach's video about how it was like Asmon and Hasan. It was Hasan talking about how streaming is really hard and it's more draining than a normal job, yada yada. Yeah. Well, they made another video that they respond. Because Asmon put out a response, so did Hasan. So I'm curious.
Right. Some of our favorite streamers are doubling down on the streaming is socially draining more than regular jobs. Blah, blah, blah. Hasan's unhappy.
I canceled on Twitter again, obviously, as always. This time it was for me saying that I run out of my social battery after 9.5 hours of streaming in a way that like a real job doesn't.
Oh god.
And everyone immediately
You
like
never had a real job, dumbass.
I did. I
There it is. I'm
worked in sales, so it was like a very social job as well.
Bro, the way she didn't even think about it was just an honest take, dude.
Oh, so I know exactly what like people pleasing looks like, and it's like fucking annoying and awful, right? So I was making a comparison between like my experience as a salesperson versus my experience as a Twitch streamer, and I was like,
In fairness, the statement that streaming is extremely draining is absolutely true. Just don't compare it to other jobs.
like it's so soul sucking, like it's so soul crushing, and I can't socialize.
Isn't he also in construction? No, Hasan is from a tremendous amount of wealth. His parents like owned Turkey or something, like the ridiculous amount of money.
After that, and I feel so bad because I was talking about going to March's house. March had a housewarming party. None of you guys were invited because you're not cool.
I was invited and I didn't remember until yesterday.
I was there, right? And I brought Kaya and she was being the best girl, but I also felt like I was looking like an asshole to every single person because I was like pouting the whole time. I'm really tired. I take one drink with
It's always
March.
the Hasan show.
I take one drink with, and I was like, I have to get the out of here. Like I'm so tired.
You got hungover immediately?
Yeah, I think it's because like I'm fucking tired after 9.5 hours of
Just the language says just their body language says they're just putting up with him. I don't know. I think these are his friends, right?
streaming, right? They clipped it like 30 seconds.
She does not. All right, I'll give it to you. She doesn't really look like she wants to be there. She doesn't look like she gives a. And judging by what she said earlier, man, she's got that RBF. You know what I mean?
Skins of it to be like Hasan, streamer says, dumb socialist streamer says.
Beyond. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Who asked? You know what I mean? She just going in.
Like, real jobs are way easier than streaming. And it's like, that's not what I was saying. Here's the context. Nobody gives a shit.
She always looks like that. I know, but in this particular context, man,
there's like
damning.
hundreds of thousands of likes. Led me to actually delete Twitter. What? I deleted Twitter from my phone. Yeah. It's really...
Oh, you got to do what you got to do. I agree. That's a W move.
It's really important for me to have Twitter on my phone for my job. Obviously,
True.
I need to like constantly be up to date on.
For those of you that don't know Hasan, I don't know how you could not know who Hasan is, but he's basically a very left-wing... he's a political streamer. He covers political stuff all the time. It's just politics. Basically the opposite of what I like to cover.
On what's going on in the world.
And so like Twitter is very important for his
world, but I feel like at this point it's just not worth it. It's so like being on Twitter and being extremely online is literally like being in a room where you're making the dumbest people on the fucking planet yell at you nonstop.
No, I could have sworn that was Twitch, but he's probably right. That's Twitter too.
And so you're not using Twitter ever again?
No,
he just took it off his phone.
I love you guys, but also I'm also one of the dumbest people on the planet because I'm on Twitch all the time.
Use it on his PC.
Yeah, because I need to have it for my work. But
you mean X? I apologize, Loch Ness X.
But yeah, I'm not gonna because I was like looking at it and I was like me up.
Well, yeah, you were up really late last night.
No, I went to sleep at like 11. I just woke up at 4 and I was like going through Twitter and I was just like, this dude, like what the fuck am I doing? I deleted it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
This is a positive step in your mental health.
Yeah.
I would agree. Like when you're a content creator, man, you just gotta like dealing with the hate is a big part of the job. And I sure like, and the hate just gets exponentially worse as you get bigger. And so Hasan, I'm sure, gets the most hate, but he also complains a lot about it. So like,
Sometimes I wish there was a world where you could just like if I could just like quit and restart as like a VTuber and be somebody totally different. Because I feel like I've ruined so many first impressions, and I've just made so many mistakes online that are just like micro.
It's so funny you say that because like,
we all make mistakes.
That I just wish I could start over.
You didn't, but you feel that way, and it feels very real to you. But like from where I'm standing, with the amount of like genuine hatred and vitriol that I have, I feel like yours is because you're a woman. That's
no,
it.
I've done some stupid
No,
shit.
you haven't. No,
yeah, one time
Shut up. No.
Oh, wait.
No, 100.
She has never done. I would agree with Hasan. She has never done anything wrong. She's a woman.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean like literally shut up. Go ahead.
I can't believe you.
You just might not be built for this lifestyle. Doesn't make the job hard. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, some of you content creators are brittle as and Hasan has got to be the most brittle person. He's always crying and whining and about the fact that people are it's so unfair.
Okay, all right. I disagree. I fundamentally disagree. Look, it's easy to look at him and say, "Oh, he's just a pussy." You know what I mean? Deal with the hate. Oh, you're such a pussy. No. As a content creator, you deal with a tremendous amount of hate. I mean, he would know. Like, there's just no shot. Like you deal with a lot of hate, and to be honest with you, to deal with it all the time, to deal with thousands and thousands of people telling you how terrible of a human being they think you are constantly, that wears on you. That sucks. That's like the worst part of the job. And so like I can vibe with Hasan on this. That definitely does add an element to streaming that's a little rough. Absolutely. But like again, don't compare it to other jobs. You're crazy.
Fair, people just hate me. Shut up. Oh,
Maybe he's not cut out for it. He's literally like the rank 3 streamer on Twitch. Get out of here. Of course he's cut out for it. People love his content. Tens of thousands of people watch him every single day. The dude's a millionaire. Of course he's cut out for it. He's cut out for it better than everyone else is. He's better at it than everyone else is. Like, it's crazy. Whether you love him or you hate him, he's good at making content. Like, and he's got a thick skin. Does he complain about a lot? Yeah, absolutely. But that man deals with a tremendous amount of hate all the time. Does it come out as complaints? Absolutely. I would complain too sometimes.
You're just brittle. The job's not hard. You're soft.
I would agree. I would agree with the job's not hard. I would not call Hasan soft. That man deals with shit. Yeah, I don't know. You can't really be brittle and be that big of a content creator. You got to have a rock solid mental, especially as big as Hasan is. You got to have a rock solid mental. And I think that he does. Does he complain a lot? Absolutely. But the dude's a politics streamer, right? Dude's absolutely a politics streamer. Like, that dude gets more hate than even I would get at that level, right? Like, that's crazy.
That's not the same thing.
The job's not hard.
This job is not difficult. These guys are just soft. And if you look at their history of what they did as work before, not a single one of them had a truly difficult job.
Yeah, I mean, again, I deal with it. You don't hear me talk about it very much because, like, I have had difficult jobs before. So, like, I just kind of deal with it. I don't really complain too much about it, right? Like I said, Hasan does complain. But, like, there is a lot of hate that goes with the job. I would know. Not as much as they do. Again, the hate, like, exponentially. As you get bigger as a content creator, so the hate also rises. It's a positive correlation.
Hasan wanted to lie about he was in sales. Bruv, you did that for, like, a couple months. That was it. And then you went up to work for your uncle because you're a Nepo baby. Most of these...
You know, I haven't heard the term Nepo baby, but... And also, I just want to say, his facial expressions kill me, bro.
People have never had to do difficult jobs, and the ones who do generally don't find this shit hard. Asmongold did a 1.5 hour video on this topic. I cut it down a little bit.
I did go watch Asmon's response to it. He like agreed to like basically everything they were saying.
More important parts.
Go ahead.
And we'll take a look.
Obviously, being a streamer is not very taxing physically. It's clearly not. And I think for a lot of people, it's not very taxing mentally either. I think streaming is a great job, and I would rather stream than have any other job in the world. There are obviously negatives that exist with streaming, but those negatives don't outweigh the positives. The big difference is the monetary difference between other jobs and being a streamer. Being paid a lot of money doesn't make problems go away. Being paid a lot of money,
it just makes them less important. He's absolutely right. Being paid a lot of money doesn't make Problems go away. It just makes it way easier to deal with. You know what I mean? How many of you would literally do your job way better for like $1 million? Would the problems at your job just go away? Absolutely not, but you would get through it. You know what I mean? I'll get through it.
It makes it easier to deal with problems. There's actually studies that have been done on this, and I can show you the graph. I'll do it now because I think people are going to disagree. Because
he actually
for a
pulls
lot of
up the
people,
graph.
this is really the reality here, is that I'm preaching to a very tough audience, arguing my point of view, because for the majority of people that are watching me and disagreeing and getting angry, the biggest problem in their life is money. So for them, the idea that you can't, like, that money isn't the problem, well, this is going to very much upset them because they look at it from the perspective of like, well, if I had money, then this would totally solve all my problems. And I think if you work at many jobs, that's absolutely true. And I want to show that with a graph. So let me go ahead and do that. These are some graphs right here that I can show. And these are studies that have been done over the years with a number of different people.
Happiness, income. And I said this the last time I reacted. Anyone that says money can't buy happiness, it's just blowing sunshine up your ass, bro. Like they're actually just lying to you. Flat out, they're just straight up lying to you. Like, you absolutely will be happier with more money. Okay? It does fall off after a while. You can see the graph falls off after a while, but like somewhere right in here, that's like the sweet spot. You know what I mean?
And basically what you see happening is that, especially whenever you're reaching, you know, again, into this like leading up to like $200,000 a year.
Well, again, how many problems in your guys' life couldn't just be immediately solved by having a shitload of money? You know what I mean? Like, if you just threw money at problems, I bet your family loves you again. You know what I mean?
More money will absolutely make you more happy. Absolutely.
Diminishing returns is right. Yeah, at a certain point.
100%. But that does not necessarily mean that more money infinitely will just make you more and more happy. And that's the perspective that I'm making. That's the point that I'm making.
That's the point I was making too. That's why you should turn your stream off. You make millions at 200.
Yeah, these guys are dumb. I don't agree with Hasan all the time, but the dude will go on network television and defend his views and get national flack from it. Everyone bitches when they're frustrated. That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly my point. Hasan goes on national television and defends views whether you like him or not. The dude gets massive amounts of hate all the time. That dude has to have thicker skin than all the rest of us, dude. It's crazy. Does he bitch a lot about it? Yeah, absolutely. Does he sound like a crybaby? Yeah, but like also, you don't know what it's like necessarily to walk in his shoes. I can say that I've gotten a lot of hate. Not as much as he does. But like, it is part of the job. I just don't complain about it because I can't be fucked, bro. I love this job.
$6.90. Snapped my ankle
Beats
falling
Walmart.
out a cell tower at work. After hearing Hasan say streaming is harder, I picked myself up by the bootstraps, as it's so much harder sitting on the toilet scrolling Reddit as a 40-minute cooking with Babish video plays for stream.
You're goddamn right it is.
100K, you'd be just as happy or close to it. Turn your stream off after 5 hours. That's the point I'm making. You have the luxury to do that. See that graph? Everyone else lives on the bottom of that curve.
True.
It's fucking dog.
Yeah, I'm way the fuck down there. You know what I mean?
Complete financial insecurity. They don't know if they'll ever be able to afford a house, be able to send their kids to college, be able to take vacations, be able to pay college and pay off their debt. That's where most.
You know, in my 20s, bro, I was worried. Oh, dude. I was like, dude, my parents already had a house by now. They were married. They were starting to have kids. I'm this deadbeat in credit card debt. I can't get a job. I'm always in debt. I'm always broke. I have no money. Like, I can't eat my food. Like, oh my God, dude. It's just so stressful all the time. Like, it's so hard to be happy when you have no money. It just makes it so much harder.
People live. You live in the upper bracket where infinity is not in existence, but you're going to continuously be happier. Marginally with time, but still happier. So why don't you just turn off your stream and then stop dealing with all the extra stress that you're self-imposing?
If 9 hours of stuff, do half. If half of that is stuff, you're still going to be good.
Yes.
That's exactly what.
And I know there's gonna be people, well, you know, you're not going to be as popular. That's not true, okay? There's plenty of streamers who take months off and they're fine. I know this. As a content creator, I take months off. I think I took 2 weeks off in February. The year before, I took a month off in like September. And then I took another month off, I think in May. I took 2 months off out of the year. Why? Because I can afford to. Why? Because I know, all right, if I keep doing this work, it's not going to be that great. So I'm going to be responsible. And because this job affords me the privilege of choosing my hours and stopping and going whenever I want, I can. And guess what? My audience is amazing. They come back. They respect it. They appreciate it. They're like,
you guys are amazing too. I take a few days off or I'm sick or whatever. I don't just really take days off generally. Like, I'm going to be on the Oasis event for a trip. There will still be YouTube content every day. But like last week, for example, like I got sick at the start of the week, and you guys really supported me on that.
Yo, if you post, we there, and if you don't, take care of yourself. I respect that.
So
yeah, I'm going to play
you
Kuno.
that you're taking a break before it becomes taxing.
We're going to play Kuno after this video.
And unbearable?
Yeah. And you know what? I could never do that at my old jobs.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. True.
So we never compare.
No, they're going to ask questions.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to be on sick leave, and they're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
That's only going to ask.
Doctor's note? You got a doctor's note? Nobody asked me for a doctor's note.
So what did your doctor say?
Money is such a big problem in their life that whenever they hear anybody say anything that is even adjacent to money isn't a problem, it immediately, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it unironically triggers them. And so they stop thinking about what's actually being said, and they start arguing against something that they've heard before. They get emotional about it.
The bottom line of this argument, guys, is that people don't want to listen to a millionaire complain about his problems. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Everyone's argument is stop complaining. Like, you make way more than all of the rest of us put together.
And I understand that. I've been in that position myself. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I ever said. Yeah. And I don't think that that's really what Hasan was trying to say, because he was really talking about, and like also like, I don't like, because I've watched Hasan for years. I've known Hasan. I've talked to Hasan. I don't think that's really what he thinks. Now, maybe he should have said it in a way that was better, but I don't think that he thinks that. So like, we can talk about the way that he communicated that, and if it could have been communicated in a better way, sure. But I'm talking about like what the...
I don't know, wait, man. There's like really no way for us to have known that. You just have to go off what he says, you know?
Intent was behind the communication. These guys are right. I mean, they're right. That, yeah, he did say that. I think that it was very clear in my mind that wasn't what he intended. So like,
I can only go on what he said. Like, I cannot go on what you think he said. I don't know that.
God damn, bro. It's like, you think I pre-watched this shit. This came out like an hour ago.
I can just go about what he actually said. And what he actually said was garbaggio. That's it. And it's okay.
Yeah, he shouldn't have compared his job to other jobs. Is streaming more socially draining than other jobs? Yes, but that's not how people are going to take it, though. If you say that streaming is more socially draining than other jobs, people are immediately going to be like, streaming is not harder than other jobs. Because, see, that's what everybody heard. Everybody heard you say streaming is harder than other jobs. And that is not true, and people are going to get upset when you say that.
It doesn't make you... You said that was a dumb take. Move on. You think that's not what he said or this and that? How am I supposed to know?
People didn't take him out of context. He just misspeaks.
That's the difference.
Those two things are not the same.
Thank you.
If you're over here, you're like, oh, I don't really like black people. And then people are like, whoa, what the f-? And you're like, no, the context was like, growing up, there's a lot of people who happen to be black who hurt me, and I didn't like those people.
That's not the same thing you
bitch,
said.
use the right...
Okay, he's kind of spitting right there. That's exactly true. Exactly true.
Words. That's your problem. Don't get mad at people because you can't communicate and orate yourself properly.
If you're saying shit is out of context, but the rest of the context...
What an edgy example. What the yeah, I mean, like, he had to, though. He's trying to use, like, an extreme example, right? He's trying to, like, articulate his point.
Context is in your head. It's not out of context. It's in your head.
There's what people mean, there's what people feel, and there's what people actually say. And you said some really dumb shit. Not you specifically, but Hasan did. And then you came out and defended it very ardently based off what you thought he...
Opinions on Pepsi? It's good, but it's not even close to Coke.
Man. Nobody's trying to hear that shit.
Yeah.
And I know Asmongold knows this, because a while back, he was telling game developers, I don't care how hard your shit is, nobody's trying...
Totally true. Absolutely 100% true. And I said that with streaming, absolutely. Nobody gives a how you feel. And it's the same thing, like, so you can make, and this might seem like a bit of whiplash because I'm talking about like two separate things, right? So like...
you could say it about any job, though. No one gives a about your problems. You can bitch about it, but no one cares.
I can talk about like the ethical world that I think...
It's like artists, right? Artists have the same issue. No one cares what artists have to say.
Think is best.
Just draw the art.
To live by in the cases that I can, which is
Pepsi's way better. Being right.
trying to listen and understand how other people feel and trying to like basically compromise with people by understanding them and taking them at face value and trying to empathize with what people's perspective is. I think this is a good thing.
What's up, Greenskull?
Back over here in reality, outside of my own ethical utopia, nobody gives a
No one gives a that's right.
This is the hypocrisy.
No one cares.
Xavier's tweet was well-intentioned, and he went on to add a lot of important...
He made a lot of very good points. He did.
But I think it misses the perspective of the consumer.
I literally said that. And this is the thing, is developers need to stop. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Oh, it's so hard. Shut the fuck
up. I watched that video. Bro, how many reacceptions we got going on here?
Up, pussy. Stop crying. You either do it or you don't. Holy f***. Just nobody cares about, oh, it's so hard. Oh, well, this is...
Yeah, it's Code Zero.
That work in construction, and you're going to say that it's hard? Your job could be more demanding than that. I don't know. But guess what?
How many cameras can we get on the screen?
But you guys like, oh, we want... And you expect sympathy for what reason?
No, I don't expect it at all, and I know that I won't get it. No, he's totally right. This is a complete contradiction of what I'm saying, and that's what I was talking about before, with like how I think things should be versus how...
You're flying back to LA to record the new Blacklist soon. I don't know what that means, but I actually am flying to LA tomorrow. So
how I think things are. And like in my opinion, I find it to be problematic that people think that way, but I also know that that's true.
Which, that's not even being good faith, and I mean, you can see that way. I think that's being incredibly charitable to someone that you have close ties to, because I've seen you not be as charitable to game devs, for example, or to other streamers who've complained who you may not be friends with. So, to me, it's interesting that you...
Of course he's going to be more charitable with somebody that he's friends with. Like, obviously.
To Hasan. But like you said yourself, you have a very good relationship with him, or a strong one, and so that's why.
It's really not the same on so many levels, but anyways, I think we are saying the same thing as Asmongold. It's just that, well, no, Asmongold saying the same thing as us. The difference is just that he's saying that, well, he can read minds, and I can't.
Oh, he knows Hasan, so I think he knows how he communicates.
So he can read his mind?
Sure, well, he just understands them better. He can interpret things better because you understand somebody. It's like when you have a child. It's like when you have a child. You know when you have a child, and your child goes, ooh, ooh. So
you want some pears and napkins, and then you want to take a nap, and after that you want to take a 2-hour walk?
Yeah,
no problem. What the f***?
Hasan's his baby boy.
No, but I like the idea of him reading minds, because Asmongold sounds like a wizard name.
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
He made his career playing World of Warcraft.
See? Not crazy. Crazy. No, like that's a wizard. This motherfucker's like a paladin or as another sorcerer.
Nah, warrior.
Some shit like that. Yeah. A necromancer. I'm just flashing shit.
Wait, what did he just say?
Negromancer?
Yeah.
Negromancer. Hey, what up, my dead people? What's up? Rise up! New York, LA, Philly, Chicago. Everybody rise! That's Negromancer.
Am I allowed to laugh at that? Am I? Are we...
I can just see that. You see the dude just bobbing in the cemetery, and then undead just popping up. Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
New York, Miami, Frisco.
Yo, crazy.
I hate these days.
Like
it's not my fault. I can't get canceled, bro. They said it, okay?
Kind of voodoo undead.
Necromancer. Everybby right? Necromancer.
Yeah. Papa, what's his name?
Papa Legba. No. Baron Samedi.
Baron Samedi.
So, I mean, especially with like social media, right? Like, you have to be posting all the time. And of course you can take time off. Absolutely. But there is a risk to taking that time off. And I'm not saying that it's not a privilege to be able to do that. But what I am saying is that it doesn't come with a cost.
Turn it off after 5, but because they want to make more money, they keep streaming. And then they want to get up here and then complain about how hard it is. Who here gets to choose their hours at work?
Not a lot of people.
The fact that you guys even have the goal to compare yourselves to regular people when your extra hours of labor are rewarded with more and more money is insane.
Well, I think most people get paid overtime, to be fair.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if
no, they don't. I wasn't. Nobody on salary gets paid overtime, and then when I was getting paid hourly wage for like my various jobs, there was basically no overtime for that either. Like when I worked in the ER as a scribe, you were not paid overtime. You clocked out and you finished the last 3 patients. That's how it worked. Or you were a piece of shit because you let the patients go without you. You know what I mean? Even when I was a busboy, it was like oh yeah, you're gonna clock out. Oh hey, can you stay and do this thing for me? I remember there was one time where like I had just started work. I was 16 years old. I was a busboy at a catering company, or at like a banquet hall. They were also a catering company. And like I was leaving. I had just clocked out and I was walking out and there was like a 50-year-old guy walking out with me. He was also a busboy. And they said, "Hey, whoa, hold up. Can you guys help us with this one thing real quick? It'll just take a few minutes." And I turned right around. I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Let me come back and help." He just said, "Dude, that ain't taking a few minutes." And he just kept walking like he didn't hear shit. He just kept going. Sure enough, it took like 22 minutes or some shit, bro. It took over 20 minutes to get the job done. Zero pay. And there are many examples like that. Very, very few jobs that I actually get overtime. Like, I got overtime for working, like, New Year's and Christmas and, like, all that shit at, like, my scribe job and stuff. But for the most part, there really isn't very much overtime there. At some jobs, sure, maybe, but like a lot of jobs are just going to expect you to clock out and finish it because it's a privilege to work there. You know what I mean? You ever worked at a place like this? Oh, you should feel good about work. If you would, like, the implication is like, we could hire somebody else and they would work off the clock for us. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where we're at now. Like,
if anybody is working extra and you're not being paid for that, you're not getting paid overtime. Not salary? Oh, yeah, that's definitely true. But if you're being paid hourly, you do get paid extra.
No.
These guys have worked. These motherfuckers have worked. See, that's... No.
Especially not if you got a salary.
When you have a job when there's some things that don't fit your description, that's overtime. It's overtime. You're not working.
I'm just gonna go up here, guys.
You're just compressing more work within that time.
So you brought up the salary stuff. Yeah, salary's a thing. Most people who work salaries sometimes have to work 12-hour days, and
yeah, teachers, you're working minimum 60 hours a week. Especially your first year, you're gonna work probably 70-hour work weeks. You're getting paid for 40, and by getting paid for 40, I mean you're getting paid like minimum wage 40 hours a week.
They're just part of the game. Okay, that is.
I got fired once because my boss told me to stay late without pay, and I'd rather just end my life. In game, yeah, that's right. It switches the story. Yeah, all right. Yeah, like we've all been there. You know what I mean? Like the boss is gonna look at you like, you should help me. It'll be a good favor. You know, like good faith. You know what I mean? But like you're really not getting anything out of that. They're not paying you for the fucking work. Like we've all been there. Shit sucks, man.
Is a thing for some people. Even at hourly jobs. You know one of the most infuriating things? Is that you can't even clock it in as overtime. But sometimes your boss is like, yo, can you handle this just before you leave? And you know that work takes a good 30 minutes, but it's 10 minutes to close.
Yes,
so you can say no to your boss.
Yeah.
But how do you think that shit? There's little things like that. When you have a long day, but you don't have a choice to opt out. You as content creators always have control over your lives in that regards when it comes to work.
Oh, you have a choice to opt out. You just might get fired.
When you are working hourly, there's so many little things that happen just as you're about to leave work that make you sick.
There's a reason why I'm currently jobless, but I have an ace in my sleeve with a work injury comp here in Norway, so I get a bachelor's for free while getting a salary. Holy shit. He's gaming, chat.
I even stay 5 minutes, y'all be pissing me the off because you're not getting paid for that.
Yeah, you do have an option, chat. You can opt out. Yeah, if you opt in. Have job. Opt out. Be homeless. You do technically have a choice. You know what I mean? Like, those are your options.
5 minutes is never 5 minutes.
First.
No, first
not at work time.
Can you do this shit? It's gonna take only 5 minutes. F you.
Yeah.
True, dude. Exactly what I just explained. Literally exactly what I just explained. It's never 5 minutes, bro.
The second thing, what I hate the most is whenever you do overtime, is you have to proceed to do overtime mathematics.
Bro, you think I pre-watched? This literally just came out, guys. This is like an hour old. Like this is literally like an hour old. I was live when this launched. Like
at some point, it happened to me when I was on the phone. You do overtime for a certain amount of time because you increase your tax bracket. You end up with less money than if you hadn't had done the overtime.
Because overtime.
Oh God, it's so true. Fuck. Like, if you're gonna work overtime, you need to make sure that you make money, because like otherwise you're gonna hit the next tax bracket and then you're just gonna lose all the money that you made. So you worked more money for less, you know what I mean? And it's bullshit because they don't charge people enough money for taxes. The rich just don't get charged enough for taxes. Instead, we got to charge the teacher. You guys realize as a first-year teacher, I owed on my taxes, guys. I owed on my tax. Multi-billion-dollar companies don't owe anything on their taxes, but I owed on my taxes. You know what I mean? Working at minimum wage jobs like Walmart, I owed on taxes every year. Every year. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm in student debt. I got credit card debt. I'm working a minimum wage job for 40 to 50 hours a week. Like it, and it just sucks, man. It sucks. That's why now I have to do my taxes still for this year. I don't even care. They're going to tax me a lot this year because of the more money that I made, right? At the end of the year, you know, I got fired from my job and all that money came in at the end of the year. So like, and you know what? I'm okay with that. Because like me paying more taxes now that I'm more comfortable, I am totally okay with helping out the little guys. The people that are struggling. The people that are, I would rather them tax more. I would rather them tax me more now that I can actually breathe a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that way the people living on food stamps, hopefully they get through it, you know? Like, I know what it's like to be there.
Taxed at a different rate.
Oh my God.
Pisses you off, so you're already losing money. I've had sales jobs, I've had military, I've had government, I've had it all, okay?
The 1% pay like 95% of taxes, but yeah, you need to understand that they should be paying 97. Right? They have the extra money to spare, right? And no, you should, like, there's also an element to it that, no, you shouldn't necessarily punish people for being successful. But there's also, like, you need to understand that, like, poor people are not always poor because they're lazy. That's the assumption. Like, I was poor for a long time and I was not lazy. That's just so, like, it's just life sometimes. It's just life sometimes. And you just got to give back.
It blows. Like, you don't get compensated the same way. Like, you guys get a flat rate no matter how many hours. Everything is incrementally more money. That's not the case for regular people. So they're
like, I will also say that once you have money, it's way easier to make more money. If you don't have any money, it's really hard to make money.
Actually rewarded less for spending more time at work. What's more, you work from home. One of the greatest privileges that you guys have is you don't have to deal with long commutes like everyone else. Do you know how many people are literally dying? They are dying going to and from work because they have 1 to 2 hour commutes. There's not much.
I'm so thankful I work from home now. Do you have any idea how much money I save? Wear and tear on the car, gas, all of it.
Opinion either. I'll put up the graph.
Yo, Ditzy, welcome back for 3 months, but I really appreciate that.
The studies, but it is actually super nefarious.
No one should ever have $1 billion. That's not true. People can have as much money. You shouldn't punish people for being successful, necessarily speaking, but like, you need to tax them more proportionately based on what they're making, right? Like, it's easier for them to continue making more money, working less hard.
For people's health and their mental health to have to do those long commutes. So all those little details play into the fact that people look at your job. And at the end of the day, this is what it is with streaming. You can frame it however you want. You can say it's hard. People are going to hear streaming and say, you get paid to play video games. What people do as a hobby, you get paid to do. And they get paid millions, more than doctors.
Okay, not million. Okay, he dreaming right now.
Engineers, pilots, government, congressmen.
Them, yes. Me, no.
Get
not
paid
even
more to play.
Now, this is, in my opinion, I understand it.
You got to hit 6 figures before you can hit 7, guys.
To be honest with you, I really don't respect it. I'm sorry, but I don't respect feeling that way because it's an emotional perspective.
I'm what's considered low income, but have 0 debt. I'm doing okay. I consider that an objective win. That's basically where I'm at right now, too, Dragons. I don't consider myself very high income. My bar is really low. The highest I was ever paid in my life was as a teacher before this. So, like, I just don't have any debt now. You know what I mean? And I consider that an objective win. I'm way happier because of it.
Perspective that's selfish. And I think that anybody out in the world has a right to own their own problems, and nobody else in the world has the right to take that away from them. True. And I really dislike this idea that because some person has it bad, they try to go out of their way to invalidate other people who have other problems that they deem less important. I think this is an incredibly toxic way of
everybody's got their problems, and everybody has the right to tell you to f off about your problems. Okay.
Talking. It's an incredibly toxic way of looking at the world.
I'll say, we don't have the right to take away from you, but we do have the right to tell you shut the f up because we ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah.
It's like we're the same person, guys. This is crazy, dude. This is insane. Holy shit.
We have the right
pre-watched. Yeah, again, like you think I pre-watched this just came out, man. I promise I didn't pre-watch this.
Let's say I have a stream and I'm complaining because my child has gastro. And I'm like, it's really frustrating that my child has gastro.
He's talking about gastroenteritis. That's a GERD. Gastroesophageal reflux disease. That's basically just a fancy word for acid reflux.
It's really difficult to have to deal with, which it is, right? Like, your child being sick is not the greatest feeling. And your viewers are all people who lost their children in a recent war. Is it okay for me to be like, I don't give a about the fact that your kid got gastro?
Yeah, that's
when
fine.
All your viewers are all... Is that okay?
You're no kids.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't care about you.
Isn't it insensitive of you to be complaining about your gastro kid when everybody else lost their children, like, permanently? Is that okay to say, like, I don't really give a...
I think it's okay.
I think this is similar.
But it's okay.
Multi-millionaire with all the options and financial flexibility, time flexibility in the world, complaining about the fact that their work is tiring to people who mostly have to work shit-end jobs.
And I really dislike this idea that because some person has it bad, they try to go out of their way to invalidate other people who have other problems that they deem less important. I think this is an incredibly toxic way of talking. It's an incredibly toxic way of looking at the world. And at the end of the day, I think that we're all very privileged in a lot of cases. That's why we're sitting on here with the internet.
But...
probably in most of the cases, air-conditioned houses in a first-world country, in many cases as well, according to my analytics, having conversations about this kind of stuff. We are all incredibly privileged, at least according to many other people.
Of course we're privileged. If this is a problem for you, let's be honest, guys. Everybody that is angry about what Hasan said is privileged. Right? Because, like, the third world people, they don't even have, like, this isn't even on their radar. They're like, y'all motherfuckers think you work? You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers think you're working? God, we wish we got to work 60 hours a week.
People in the world. I think this is the case with everybody's job. And you see this all the time on the internet.
Because you're well compensated, extremely well compensated for the level of difficulty of your job. And this is how most people internalize this and whether or not they want to hear about your suffering.
Y'all get paid?
Is your job?
Exactly.
How well do you get compensated for it? If your job is extremely difficult and hard to manage, but you get paid peanuts, complain as you want.
I don't think so. I think that actually I don't agree with that, because if you look at, for example, like culturally, I think that culturally people definitely look down on construction workers. They look down on sanitation workers. Absolutely, that's true. And they get paid.
But that's not necessarily what he's saying, though. Like, what he's saying is you're allowed to bitch about your job, right? If your job sucks and you don't get paid very well.
Paid shit?
Who the gets paid shit?
He doesn't know.
No. Who the construction workers get paid shit?
They definitely don't get paid shit. But
they're paid pretty well, but also their job sucks.
He just might not know. So if we're being charitable, he would have just chosen another job that doesn't get paid well. He just doesn't know. But they definitely don't get paid well.
Some beady ass eyes looking at you.
You should know better.
Nigga.
To be fair, I didn't know this, but a lot of garbage men are apparently paid really well.
Yeah, better than teachers.
Okay.
Isn't that what I said? Wait a minute. Hold up, chat. Wait a minute. Wait a second. That's what I said. Didn't I say that in my first react to their video? I did. I 100% said that because it's true. Garbage men are getting paid more than teachers. I absolutely did say it. Oh my God, bro. You caught it straight. No, he agreed with me. He was like, yeah, apparently they get paid more than teachers. He's saying that he was wrong. One of my points in my react video was that when I reacted to it, I said, like, somebody in chat said how much they make as a garbage worker. And I was like, I made less than that as a teacher. What the hell, man? And I'm not saying they saw it, but also we may have made it.
Hey, listen, it's not too many people willing to pick up garbage for a living, so I met it.
Not too many people willing to be a teacher either.
Well, not a lot of people are willing to teach kids. Anyways, carry on.
There's a lot of people willing to teach kids.
A lot less
Today, but there's still way more people.
It depends. A lot of construction workers make $20 an hour. Teachers make less than that for the amount of money, or like the amount of time that they work.
People that want to
teach kids.
Concur.
I don't care what nobody says. Try dating a girl, be like, I'm a garbage man. God bless you.
Try dating a girl and being like, I'm a teacher. Good luck. Try putting teaching in your Tinder profile. See how many hits you get.
So, you know what? I don't even think garbage men tell the truth about what they do for work when they date. I don't think you can. I don't think you can say that because there's no way socially that's
every garbage man says they're the driver.
Yeah.
I'm not in the back chucking that shit. I'm driving that bitch. He's not. He's not.
So what do you make you say when he's being asked? What do you do for
I've never been a garbage truck.
work? What do they say?
I'm a supervisor of sanitation.
Okay, yeah.
Yo, all the garbage men, I need to see y'all in the comments. I'm actually mad curious. What y'all say when y'all be on these dates?
I'm supervisor of sanitation. I work for the city, which you could.
I work for the city.
I work for the city.
I work for the city.
Yeah, whenever you do a comedy show and people tell you, I work for the city, what do? You know, city, you're a cop.
Yes.
You're a cop or you pick up the garbage. Both.
Nakatsu, thanks for the raid, sister. I really appreciate that. I didn't know you were streaming.
This is what I'll end on this whole conversation. Can YouTube or content creation be difficult? Yes?
Yes.
It's tedious. And in that way, it's difficult. But no, it's not really that hard. I mean, like, it is hard, but it's also not really that hard. It's not something... You're sitting in an air-conditioned room, basically, with no heavy lifting, working your own hours. I do not consider that difficult, so no. It is tedious, though.
But it's as difficult as you make it. And therein lies the whole crux of this whole topic. It's as difficult as you choose to make it. And if you want to ratchet up the difficulty to the ultimate percent to get the maximum amount reward, go right ahead. Just don't cry about it afterwards because you're well compensated for it. Content creation is not hard. It's many things.
I think it is hard. It is hard in its own right. I disagree there. I think it's hard in its own right. Because if it was easy, everyone would do it. But, like, also, it depends on what you're comparing to. He's probably comparing it to, like, construction or something. You know what I mean? Again, if you compare it physically to any of those jobs, no. But, like, it's hard, but, like, again, you're compensated well. Like, nobody cares. Stop bitching.
It could be time. Yup, go ahead.
Time consuming.
Yep.
It could be emotionally draining if you don't go into the comments. It can be...
Would you say the creativity aspect to put out unique content would be the more difficult part? I would say that's one of the more difficult parts, sure. But, like, it's not just having the creativity to put it out, it's executing that content. You know what I mean? Like, you have to it's the prep work that goes into it, then executing the content, and then the cleanup work afterwards. It's like a spectrum of work, right? Even for one stream, you know, you got to prep the stream ahead of time, you got to do the stream, and then you got to answer comments on the YouTube videos and, like, handle social media after the stream. Like, is that hard? In my definition, because I'm comparing it to teaching and research coordinating and working at Walmart and being a waiter and being a busboy, no, I don't consider that hard. But, like, it can be hard. There are aspects of the job that are difficult.
Time consuming. I'm running out here.
It could rid you of a lot of your privacy.
Yeah, there's no privacy. I was on stream for 18 straight days in a row. There's zero privacy. None. Like, you're basically just on display all the time. Everything you say, everything you do is recorded. Everybody's constantly trying to snip you out of context. You can't just, it's not like you can just go into Discord and just start just wildly going off the handle and expect no one to record it. No, you're always on the clock, basically, in that regard. But, like, I don't really care because this is just kind of who I am. So, like, it's not very hard for me to, like, worry about doing that. You know, I don't really have much to hide.
Fair.
Depending on how you manage it, but sometimes, yeah, no, fair. Yeah.
Content creators, stop comparing it to regular jobs. You look stupid.
That's the bottom line.
Anything else?
No.
All right, guys, you can complain about your problems. Leave regular people out of it.
That's That's fair. All right, there's the video. It literally just came out. Literally just came out. As someone who works at jobs serving clients for years and now doing YouTube full time and on stream on occasion, I'm so blessed and happy every day to be doing YouTube. It's a dream come true. Bro, that's me. You know what I mean? That's it. Right there. Just said it all.